hypertension, its management and all. But no one is thinking about psychology, patient or patient's relative is going. And for that, we have Miss Salka Parab. She is basically, I would say she is basically having a co-founder of Pulmonary Hypertension of India. It's sort of an NGO, is it? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So an NGO who is taking care of patients and their relatives, and they provide their psychological support. So I welcome Miss Salka to talk on patient self-group support system in patients with pulmonary arterial hypertension. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. To follow Dr. Sundar on any panel is a daunting task, but I'll try. Good afternoon, doctors, patients, and caregivers. I am Shalaka. I am from Mumbai. I am from Pulmonary Hypertension India, also called PHI. And thank you for this tremendous opportunity, PCSI. Pulmonary Hypertension India is a completely patient-run, independent support group and educational platform. We have no commercial ties with any pharmaceutical company, hospital, or doctor. Our primary aim is to seek and support PH patients in India, and of course the caregivers, the long-term survivors, as well as the newly diagnosed patients. And to achieve this aim, our key strategies are twofold. One, create awareness around symptom management, disease management, and lifestyle changes. And two, we are committed to evidence-based medicine. We are prompt at dissuading patients away from quackery and unproven therapies in pulmonary hypertension. With volunteering from long-term survivors, senior patients, and patients with a medical background, we strive to empower new patients with the right knowledge and insights. This is very, very important. Patient education events with leading PH specialists, nutritionists, psychiatrists, and family fun events fill in the much-needed gap in patient support in India, PH patient support in India. We also have some collaborations. Our collaboration with autoimmune and chronic disease support groups has given us a broader perspective of this medusa. We are not only associated with international associations like American PHE and PHE Europe, but we also have created a thriving community of PH patients from the Indian subcontinent, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, a few from Nepal as well. And as a patient education support organization, we have only just begun and we truly have miles to achieve. We have some immediate strategic and tactical goals though. These are one, creation of an all India patient registry. I've heard so many doctors so far talk about lack of data. And I think this is where we can help. And I think we should all collaborate to get this done in the next 1 to 2 years. It's a massive task, but it's achievable. Our second goal is simplification and expediency of a disability certification for both children and adults living with PH. And three, monetary help. We want to offer monetary help to patients to cover their prohibitive expenses on PH medicines. The annual cost of just a 10 mg macitentan is more than rupees 63,000. And I dare not even mention what it costs to be part of Dr. Sundar's renowned heart-lung transplant program. So money is a big issue in this space, and we want to be able to help do something in that area. I would love to hear from all of you on how we can get these three goals executed, by the way, in the next 1 to 2 years. Please do reach out to me with ideas. But today I also want to talk about something else. One is I would like to present a few views on congenital heart defects and observations in patients. It is rather surprising that no session in PCSI this year has been dedicated to mental health associated with cardiac complications in children or adults who have lived through CHDs in the childhood. I myself live with a congenital heart defect. I have an ASD that was closed when I was 8 years old. Everything I'm about to say now has happened to me and to almost all my CHD-bearing friends. Cardiac complications in children are not just happening to their bodies. A shunt or suture may chop the weed, but the seeds of poor mental health are already in the wind. A child smiling through her discharge at a hospital is most likely to grow up with covert physiological anxiety, medical fears, depression, and behavioral problems. There was a study done by Texas Children's Hospital in more than 100,000 children over 5 years, ages 4 to 17. And they found that congenital heart disease children with CHDs were 5 times more likely to have depression or anxiety than those without the disorder. patients with the most severe CHD were 7 times more likely to have depression or anxiety.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah,
Do you have any presentation?
I do have after this, immediately. So if this is the case, this is the case we found to be in India as well. And therefore, it is my fervent appeal to the amazing pediatric cardiologists here today to please integrate mental health counseling as part of long-term follow-ups for children with CHDs. And in fact, for children with any form of PH. Creating a healthy adult from a child with CHD necessitates acknowledging the mental health impact of these cardiac anomalies. Children should not have to suffer from mental health traumas that can haunt them for the rest of their lives. Another thing we want to highlight here is how many of us adult PHers with CHD still carry this latent frustration and regret at not being diagnosed at the right time. So we wonder why so many of our GPs or pediatricians did not diagnose us over many years and multiple visits. And I think, I don't have to tell you this, but I think just one pulse oximeter in the right hand at the right time can do wonders for India. Putting these in the hands of ASHA and Anganwadi workers may also help India tremendously. So I think, please save us that heartache as adults, literally and figuratively. Use pulse oximeters. We also surveyed our group members and asked them, what is your message to pediatric cardiologists of India and how did a support group help you? We received an overwhelming response from all over the country. And I'm just going to present these very quickly. So a message to India's pediatric cardiologists. This is generally from parents of children diagnosed with idiopathic PH or adult patients who've gone through CHD diagnosis in their childhood. This is first what somebody had to say. Please brief us about possible complications that may occur in our adulthood. Don't let it, just once you resolve the CHD, or maybe you've not resolved the CHD, don't just let us be, because things may happen later which may trigger a PH, make it severe, and it may be too late. Do annual 2D echoes. Another patient said, please counsel our parents, give them a fair idea of funds needed in the future to save the child, because parents often are not ready financially. They are not prepared financially when they actually could be if just advised about it or counseled about it at the right time. Then there's this patient who said, please refer the parents to doctors in other states. This is actually a very recurring recommendation from patients in North India who believe that some of the best procedures in pediatric cardiology happen in South India. And when they meet patients from South India and know about all these procedures that have happened, they often wonder, why didn't my doctor tell me to go down there? If I could have afforded it, I would have gone there. So please do recommend other doctors. This is what I was talking about earlier as well. Signs of depression and anxiety. Look out for those, because this is a real issue in the CHD PH childhood diagnosis space. This is a response from a mother with idiopathic PH. Listen to the mothers and the mother's instinct. She spent many months going through, and her son going through many tests and putting him through a lot of trauma. When she was constantly insisting that my son's PH, or sorry, not PH, my son's fatigue and fainting was post activities. His syncopal episodes were post activities, and yet they spent many months doing something else. This is another thing. Please advise parents and the young patients on nutrition. Just because they are little, their children, doesn't mean that they shouldn't know what they need to do. And talk to children and parents also about fluid restrictions and salt intake. Because in Indian families and otherwise, everybody's just always talking about drink more water, but maybe that is not the best strategy for us. Educate school teachers about this invisible illness. I have been through schooling and college where I was asked to climb stairs and multiple floors, and sometimes there was an elevator, but I was not allowed to use those. And I have heard the same stories from so many others. Because it is an invisible illness, school teachers, principals just do not pay heed to what we are saying. And so I think somewhere the school system needs to be educated about it as well. Yes, again, put children with CHD through mental health counseling. Teenagers, 14 to 16, especially when they are, beginning to experience a lot of life, exposed to drugs, exposed to alcohol, and exposed to smoking, at least the ideas of those. Please, this is also the right time to educate them. Also, they're beginning to understand their own issues, their own cardiac issues, their own CHDs, and beginning to feel many other things about, not self-doubt and self-worry, and those anxiety issues are cropping up at this age a lot. Okay, so this very quickly, I'm just going to go through how is joining a PH support group helped you, and we have some very short responses. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to quickly allow you to read it. Thank you. That's it for me.
Yes, it was a wonderful presentation, Ms. Salaka. And it's an important topic to tackle psychological aspect of parents with pulmonary hypertension, as well as kids with pulmonary hypertension, as well as patients who have been treated for